didn't know, we didn't know. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Things with Harris. This time we're going to go out the River Almond and exploring the green spaces around Edinburgh, and the nature that lives in it, and the beautiful sights that we can see on the way. We start our journey in the village of Cramond, with evidence of Roman settlers here, and surely the people before them. This is a very historic place, and has always been a very important natural harbour on the Forth. Famously in Cramond, the local ferryman discovered a Roman carving of a lioness. You can see this in the National Museum of Scotland today. Heading upstream, on the far side of the bank, you can see the Craigie Quarry docks. Now we'll get to the actual quarry itself later on, but this is where the boats would have come in, depending on the tide, and loaded up. We now get to our first mill, which is also the oldest mill out on the river. It was originally a grain mill, but was then converted into an iron mill, making hoops for whiskey barrels and wheelbarrows as well. Continuing on past Cockle Mill, we come up to Fairafar Mill. Now this mill was famous for its production of iron nails. It was famed for producing the best in the land. Going past the fish ladder and the weir of Fairafar Mill, you can see on the right hand side is the cliff face. Now on the bottom of this cliff face are little holes, and this is where a railway was said to have been, for carrying stone from the quarry, which is slightly further upstream, down to the docks that I mentioned previously. We now continue up and over the steps to Dowie's Mill. On the way, we'll pass Peggy's Mill, but there's not much evidence of that anymore. But if you dig around, you might be able to find it. We now see evidence of Dowie's Mill. This mill has been a chemical factory and made nails, and eventually ended up being a woodworking shop. But now the remains of it are really broken up by the river, but it's still a beautiful spot. We now come up to Old Cumming Bridge. Now no one really knows when this was built, but it was repaired multiple times to the 16 and 1700s to get the bridge that we have today. It's the site of a very famous story immortalised by Sir Walter Scott. When King James V was riding over it, he was apparently attacked by thieves, and Jock Hewson, a resident nearby, heard the commotion and came out and rescued him. Now continuing up the forest side of the river, we go under the new road bridge, and continue up into one of my favourite isolated spots in Edinburgh. Beautiful river with some very dramatic scenery, and so close to the city you would never imagine. We're now coming up to Grotto Bridge. This is a very dramatic bridge over the river. A lovely spot if you want to come out for a walk and you can loop around. Really would recommend it. Crossing the bridge, if you take a left and head up the hill a little bit, you'll eventually find yourself coming up to the old Camel Estate. The Camel Estate was abandoned in the 1970s, and you can now go up and walk around the overgrown estate, and it's really quite beautiful. See all the old gardens and the reasonably modern buildings actually, all overgrown. I really hope you enjoyed coming with us on our adventure, and I really would recommend that you go out and do your own adventures as well. But as always, we'll see you next time on Things with Harris. Come along, Things with Harris. Come along and enjoy.